Hey everyone, Future here, and this is going to be a pretty short little video following up on the Atlas video I did recently to talk a little bit about the sequencer of Atlas 2. Now I already recorded this video, so I'm just going to do this voiceover style, as it is likely due to change anyways, so this video will be pretty irrelevant pretty soon. I already had a little chat with one of the lead developers, and he said he was already working on some changes to this section of Atlas 2, and I gave him a few tips that he was interested in implementing. So this will change, but for now I want to show you a few things about the sequencer and the variations that this sequencer does when you use the new sequence from variation. So in this upcoming clip I will show you the basic rhythm I'm feeding it, and I will show you what happens when you hit variation a few times. After that I will come back and I'll shortly explain what's going on, and then I'll talk a little bit about the things they can do to improve this mechanism. So here we go, this is the clip and we'll speak in a second. Alright, so let's hold it here for a second. So what I'm doing here is I'm using the variation and then I'm reverting back to the main beat, clicking variation again and reverting back to the main beat. And this helps me establish that every time you use variation you get a new result. So that's good to know. It also lets me double check that the result is not mutating in any way, because every time we hit variation we keep the same amount of hits in the same lanes, they just get shuffled around. So that's a good to know parameter, and because I'm not using variation upon variation, that's easier to track, and I will in a second use a variation upon a variation a few times to see what happens in those cases. So for now it seems like every time you hit variation, the already existing beats get shuffled around, and that's about it. Okay, let's carry on. So I did a few more experiments after this, including trying to change the length of the loop. If you change the length of the loop, it merely copies all the nodes and positions it already has to the new beats. Variations will just shuffle everything through each other, so it will not remember your original length. I also tried to play around a little bit with the polymeter system. What it boils down is to, if you make it shorter and you cut off some nodes, it will simply forget those nodes ever existed, and it will just randomize however many nodes are left within the space it has. So it's pretty rudimentary as is. The results are anywhere from pretty interesting to fairly unusable, because it's just pure randomness. So I think there's a little bit of a space for improvement, which is gladly also what developers think is possible, so that's good. One of the most obvious things is being able to lock down some lanes. Like, for instance, you can just lock down the kick lanes. You also always have the same kick pulse, and you can just do variations of other things. It would be nice to see mutations becoming a thing, where it can selectively add maybe some nodes on some instruments that might add to the more of a variation nature. I think, yeah, variations are very hard to do, but at least developers say they are going to add some extra controls, some extra options here. So as of now, a bit of a hit and miss system, but I still wanted to show it so you can see what it does right now, and you have a little bit of an idea if this is a system that could work for you. Obviously, when it gets updated, I will make a new video, an updated video, to check out what changed and how you can use this system to your advantage. So that's it for now. Bit of a short video, but that's all the info I have for you. Anyways, I'm going to say have a great day, and see ya.